Hey everyone, how you doing? Different scenery, of course. I just last week I just moved back from Pretoria, um, and lo and behold, I had a surprise by my aunt and my uncle because they knew that I was vlogging from my race room, and they got me a whiteboard so I can lecture and work from home. So, and I mean, they said these kids need you, so obviously they just saw that this is what I enjoy doing and also trying to help. So I'm really grateful for what they did for me. I mean, thank you. All right, today we're going to talk about secondary dominance. What is it, first of all? Because this is the thing that my students are struggling the most. Secondary dominance is any chord that is or has a dominant function over another chord that is not in the tonic of the music composed. In other words, they are not part of the natural key of the music. They are also known as auxiliary chords because they serve to prepare or progression for some other degree of the music or of the key. It sounds very blunt, but that's how it is defined. In other words, basically, secondary dominance is just there to function as a brief modulation in order not to make the music sound boring. So I'm going to give you examples on the board. How does the secondary dominant function? Okay, so as you can see, this 5/5. This slash is known as off in music. And basically, what the harmonic analysis is implying is that this dominant is a dominant function of this key that it's modulating to. And basically, this key that it's modulating to is this. Alright? So let's start on the first step. The first step is we need to understand what is the spelling of this chord. So we're dealing with C major. The C major chord, the dominant chord is spelled as G, G, B, D. Alright. So why I doubled the G is obviously we're dealing with root position, and in the root position you need to double the root. So let me just write the spelling out. Okay, I'm going to be in 4/4 and I'm going to do the progression in minutes. So okay, I'm going to write in the open spatial position, and the B goes here, and then the G goes here, and then the D goes there. Now, just think about it this way. This dominant chord, all right? Think about it as the new tonic key that you're modulating to, which is GBD. And the new tonic key is G major. All right. And obviously G major has one sharp, which is F sharp. Now, the second step is to compose a secondary dominant. Now, the second step implies is what is the dominant of G major? The dominant of G major is D, F, A, right? And if you have to spell it as a dominant, secondary dominant, obviously D, D, F sharp, A. Remember something, the F sharp is not related to C major. So it's obviously obscure and different. So it's a barred chord from another key signature. Then, how do we spell it? Obviously, we need to put the bass note, which is your D, your root. Then you need to have a common tone, which is your D, right? Your leading note, which is your F sharp, needs to resolve to the tonic of G major. That needs to be in the alto voice. And then your A will be in the tenor. I will send you some worksheets onto the link based on 505 going to 5, just to help practice in terms of harmonic writing. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm going to do the next example, dominant of 2. In other words, we're going to modulate to the scale degree of chord 2, which we are in F major. So, what is the spelling of chord 2? We need to understand, firstly, it is G, G, B flat, D. Now, what is the key signature that we're modulating to in this case? Obviously, we're going to modulate to G minor scale. And we have to think about it this way. All right. We're going to see G minor scale as a tonic chord that we're going to modulate to. Alright? Now, second step is, what is the dominant of G minor scale? The dominant of G minor scale, or G minor, is obviously D, F sharp,